We are here in Shawnee, Oklahoma for a PBA regional event. This will be on about 43 feet of oil, but I think the play will probably be to the outside early on because the taper is kind of close to the gutter. We're here at the Firelake Bowling Center. This is just a practice round. I'll film a little bit of that, but otherwise I'll just recap you what the game plan will be.
Store your equipment tonight. Go through the arcade. You'll see some black curtains. Go over there.
All right, it's the next day. Sorry I didn't update you after the practice round at the hotel. I had a very hectic night. Don't ask me about it. But the practice round went really good. In fact, it went a little too good. The pattern is very soft and easy. There's a lot of misroom out there. I know I only filmed like kind of the final few minutes of the practice session where I was playing the middle of the lane, but straighter looks really good early on, especially with the concept, so I'll probably start with that if they play anything similar. Other than that, it's, yeah, just chase it left after that with the reactive stuff, or the other reactive stuff. Technically concept is reactive, but yeah, that will be the game plan. I was just in there watching A squad because I'm B squad, so they're almost done and scores are really high. So I'm gonna have to average probably in the 230s, maybe even more, to make this cut. They're taking the top 30 something out of 90 or 100, how many ever is here. So yeah, tall order ahead, but if the pattern's really scoreable, then I guess we just have to score it. So here we go.
Aging like my wine. Not how many are. They age
I think it's still gettable, but I think it's higher than it was. This pattern is absolutely gettable.
I don't have any.
Just not good. Certainly not good enough to be out here.
Get them.
Games 1 through 3 updates. Definitely a couple shots I could have thrown better in game 1, but otherwise that concept would get to the pocket really easily. But I just kept leaving this absolutely gut-wrenching like crap 10s just when I thought I was going to get on a nice run of strikes. So I lost a lot of pins on bad carry those first 2 games. So I went fishing with the Nova in game 3, found a little something, shot 250. So we're going to hope that keeps on rolling.
Got mad at the briefcase. Will you throw this stuff
games, 4 or 5 in the game. A 2-13, which really had a sucky ending. There could have been a lot more there. That baby split ruined it. That was pretty good shots that game. And then 246, good game with 10 strikes, only my 2 misses were opens. I whiffed a 10 pin because I had a rock on the bottom of my shoe and I could feel it, and I knew I should have bought. For some reason I didn't, and I flat out whiffed it, so at least it was around 10 strikes. I have a big wait time here because the pair's broken down, but 3 more games to go. We've got a few lanes here that got affected by a breakdown, so it's kind of going to be like 12 of us all bowling our last game all at the same time here, so it'll be kind of weird and intense.
Fresh time.
Well, as you can see, I'm back in the hotel because we made the cut. Barely. Top 32 made it. I snuck in at 31st. I was in by about 5 pins. So once again, I don't know why I always do this to myself at regionals, but I needed every last one of those final 5 hits. And we got there somehow. Same thing that happened last time. So we're in. Now the nice thing is tomorrow's an advancer round, so we get 5 more games, and and they cut to top 16. I'm really only out of 16th by like 55 pins. I know there's 15 people between me and 16th, but they're all jumbled so closely together that I'm only 55 pins out. So if I can get some of the pin carry I thought I was deserving in those early games, kind of keep the same look, then who knows, maybe we could make a run, but I will see you in the morning. I shot massive that set. I just skyrocketed from 31st up to 10th place. So I made the next advance around 2. Now we'll have 4 more games. I have to try to get to 8th, but I'm only 6th out of 8th right now, so it's possible.
About the same age. It might be a little. Yeah.
He has a bulb. Two sevens. See, that's what's my game right now. The 7 10s and then just missing.
Good to be top. So like
Another huge block. Made the cut again. Now in the top 8. And we got another advance round. 4 more. Have to somehow get up to 4.
I'm not that cornered. Because I mean, they blow up like this. Just one suspension up.
Alright, what's up guys? We're here in the future. Now this is actually the point in which I couldn't film anymore on this camera. As it turned out, I'd advanced so far as I just kept climbing up these advance rounds that I ran out of SD card space. So what ended up happening was we missed that final advance around game, at least filming wise. Luckily only one game, but it was actually kind of a thriller. So as you know, I'd started that day in 31st, worked my way up to 10th after the first advance round, worked my way up to like 7th or 8th after the second one, and now here in this third one, this final game, top 4 went to stepladder, and I was just 2 pins behind the 4th place guy. So it was basically whoever did better that game, me and him, was going to snag the final stepladder spot. And I threw a 238 or 7 or something that game, and he was in the 220s or so. So I snagged the final stepladder spot. Now, because I was still, out of SD card space, I just kind of propped up my phone against something for these stepladder matches. So my apologies for the kind of awkward angles coming up, but there was no way I was gonna not film somehow my stepladder rounds, and what I was going for was my first ever PBA regional. So here we go to that.
Yes, I do. Okay.
And there we have it. I was just one match away from being able to call myself a PBA regional champion for my first time. That was such an absolute dream run, and still to this day, because it's a few months later when I'm finally catching up to edit this, but I was just, it felt like an out-of-body experience the whole time. I was just on cloud nine. I was just like, how am I doing this? As I kept rising up through those advanced rounds, but I really thought I was about to pull off the dream run of a lifetime there, but it just kind of came apart there at the very end. I was just, I lost a little bit of ball reaction, but Corey also threw front 8 at me, so who knows if I would have been able to keep up. But yeah, I was throwing that ball, that sublime focus, for 16 straight games at that point, so I guess that was the point. It just kind of faded away, and I lost the reaction just enough, so disappointing, kind of heartbreak ending, but like I said, it felt like an out-of-body experience going that far, so that was an amazing time and an amazing memory I'll hold on to forever, no matter what I end up doing on the regional circuit or PBA circuit. So I hope you all enjoyed. That was an extremely special video there, and hopefully I keep doing that good in other regionals.